The story begins with a father researching artifacts, with his adventurous daughter Natsumi joining him. Tragically, Natsumi loses both her father and her right arm. However, she dreams of combat and making a difference. Later, as Natsumi prepares to finish school, she plans to work as a tanker, assisting the Gears who battle the monster-like Gato. They reside in Decadence, a huge moving fortress, the last safe haven for humans. Natsume's aspiration to be a soldier is hindered by her lost arm, leading her to a tough job cleaning armor, overseen by the stern Kaburagi. She persuades Kaburagi to host a party for her, where she overindulges in alcohol. Despite her hardships, Natsume remains hopeful of defeating the Gadol and achieving peace. She befriends a harmless Gadol named Pipe. One night, Kaburagi is seen extracting chips from individuals on a mysterious assignment from an unknown superior. Soon, Decadence is attacked by a gigantic Gadol named Jilland, accompanied by colorful Gadols. These creatures, even the smallest, are more potent and quicker than humans. To combat this, the Gears use flight packs to boost their agility. During the chaos, Natsume, Kaburagi, Kali, and another worker are caught outside. They fall, showcasing the vastness of Decadence and the ongoing battle. Kaburagi, obtaining a flight pack, fights off some Gadol with Natsume closely following. Inside a modern control room, General Monado and his team ready Decadence's defense. They transform the fortress into a massive cannon. Waiting for the right moment, they fire at the approaching Gadol, defeating it. We later observe a city resembling a submarine filled with cyborgs. As a voice commends them for their victory, we discover that this is Kaburagi's true world. His human form is just an avatar, and Decadence is an expansive entertainment center managed by the dominant Solid Quake Corporation. Like Kaburagi, the Gears are robotic entities using avatars in Decadence to earn experience and rank. Only the tankers are genuine humans, the last remnants of their kind. A flashback from 7 years prior reveals Kaburagi and his elite ranker team, all of whom appear unique because they're avatars, not real humans. Kaburagi is a top gear in Decadence, but he senses he's at his zenith. Meanwhile, his teammate Mikey, an ambitious young gear, is on the rise. Yet when Mikey is exposed as a cheater and labeled by Houston, a strict system administrator, he's eliminated. The ranker team is dissolved and Kaburagi's peers are imprisoned for defiance. Choosing not to rebel, Kaburagi believes he'll have another chance to challenge the system. Now demoted, Kaburagi repairs armor by day. At night, he retrieves chips from humans labeled as threats by the Hyujin system. Natsume persistently asks Kaburagi to teach her combat. Shigen tries to sway him with a picture of her and Pipe, but he's resolute in declining. One night, she spots Kaburagi discreetly removing a chip from a person. Misunderstanding, she thinks he's merely stealing due to financial woes. Natsume convinces him to quit his supposed thievery and not to give up on himself, unaware of his actual situation. In reality, Kaburagi has been abstaining from necessary procedures, leading him towards a gradual demise. Kaburagi initially believed Natsume was a glitch in the system. However, upon scanning her, he realizes there's no record of her among the tankers. Digging deeper, he discovers she was marked as deceased from the time of her father's death and her arm loss. This means she's an anomaly outside the system's grasp since she lacks a chip. Gratefully acknowledging that she prevented his premature end, he consumes the Oxy. He agrees to mentor her and introduces her to the upscale Gears base. Despite setbacks and skeptics, Natsume is determined to master navigating the Gadol zones. Reviewing her training footage, Kaburagi notes delays caused by her makeshift arm while adjusting her flying apparatus, a potential fatal delay in real combat. During this, Hyujin contacts him, inquiring about his 13-day inactivity in bug processing. Hyujin shares a historical representation, suggesting cyborgs overtook humans as Earth's primary species, hinting that unchecked anomalies might have caused humanity's decline. Returning to his human form, Natsume surprises Kaburagi with clothing for Pipe to play outside. Noticing her acknowledgement of her arm's limitations, he upgrades her with a new multifunctional one that can morph into a spear gun, enhancing her combat capabilities. Eager to test her new arm, an alarm for a Gadol attack interrupts. An unforeseen sinkhole halts Decadence and an earthquake ensues, launching Natsume, Kaburagi, and Pipe into chaos. As Pipe tumbles into a fissure, Kaburagi dives in, seeking Commander Monado's assistance for their location. Natsume, meanwhile, rushes onward. Natsume discovers a vast underground cavern, witnessing a clash between the Gears and medium-sized Gandalf. Kaburagi advises her to retreat, but she arms herself. She observes Gears fighting an Ava spine, but they fall. Drawing from Kaburagi's lessons, she musters her courage and defeats the Ava spine. Just as Kaburagi finds Pipe, a megalone threatens to devour them. Natsume timely intervenes, killing the creature. A formidable Darumas breaches the Gears' defenses, but Kurumine's team dispatches it efficiently. Impressed by Natsume, Kurunai inquires about her team affiliation. Natsume admits her inexperience, but Kurunai sees potential and invites her to join the power. Kurunai recognizes Kabaraji and questions his current role. As a snow battle event initiates, the mission is to eliminate a Gatl nest and the formidable Gatl Alpha. Kurunai briefs the humans about the nest location. Monado informs Kabaraji that other cyborgs enjoyed his recent combat, but warns that the upcoming event's script predicts certain doom, where even top-ranked gears won't survive the Gatl Alpha. This dire plot twist aims to shock the audience, but legends like Kabaraji will revive hope. Anticipating heavy casualties, Kabaraji learns that Natsume is in Team 6. He attempts to dissuade her from joining the battle, revealing its repetitiveness and the absence of a real nest. Natsume, fueled by hope for global peace, remains resolute. In a desperate act, Kabaraji sabotages her flying gear. The gears, including Natsume, depart Decadence, navigating fog to confront the Gatl Alpha. As they encounter numerous Gatls, the elite S-class gears handle them with ease. Amidst thick fog, Natsume and Unit 6 discover a cavern littered with fallen gears and confront the formidable Gatl Alpha. Despite their efforts, the Gatl devastates them, taking out several team members. Just as the Gatl is about to kill Natsume, Mindy sacrifices herself to save her. Furious, Natsume retaliates, briefly injuring the beast. However, the Gatl recovers, and as danger looms, Kabaraji intervenes, initially trying to flee with Natsume. Upon her insistence, they return to rescue the others. Monado warns Kabaraji about engaging the Gatl, as it could disrupt the planned narrative, but Kabaraji remains steadfast, driven by gratitude towards Natsume. By removing his limiter, he finally defeats the Gatl Alpha. Just when victory seems in sight, a colossal Gatl, the Stargate, emerges. Its sudden appearance baffles even the developers who hadn't planned for its debut. Monado activates Decadence's defense, urging the elite gears to hold off the Stargate. Amidst the intense battle, Kabaraji spots a vulnerability in the Stargate. He exploits it, weakening the monster, allowing Decadence to deliver the final blow, destroying the behemoth. By daybreak, although the tankers hoped for peace, they see more Gatls lurking. Hujin confronts Kabaraji, critical of his actions. Just as Hujin is about to dismantle Kabaraji, an unknown intervention spares him, sending him to a bug correction facility instead. Here, Kabaraji mingles with other cyborgs and after a period, is released. He reunites with Sarkazi, who reveals an unsettling truth. There had been no Gatl attacks until the storyline was adjusted. Sarkazi then introduces Kabaraji to a group of bugs who can still access Decadence. Kabaraji is taken aback when he encounters Donatello, who still harbors resentment towards him for conforming to the system. To prove his allegiance, Donatello challenges Kabaraji to a dangerous game above a crusher tank. Using shovels, their goal is to topple the opponent. During their intense duel, Kabaraji gains the upper hand. However, Donatello, refusing to yield, results in both plummeting. Using his jets, Kabaraji rescues them from the pit, and Donatello concedes. Donatello then leads Kabaraji to a spot to access the game, where Jill cautions him about re-entering as an unfamiliar entity. Upon logging in, Kabaraji discovers a combat mission. He soon learns of a breach in the tanker, with Gatls invading. Together with Kurunai and Natsume, they fend off the Gatl assault, but at a heavy human cost. Post-battle, Monado reveals to Kabaraji that such incidents are orchestrated to control the rising tanker population. Meanwhile, Natsume shares her struggles, moving Kabaraji deeply and inspiring him to overhaul the system. Determined, Kabaraji seeks Donatello's help for a grand plan to obliterate the Gatl factory. He proposes using Decadence for the infiltration. However, Jill points out the protective shield around the factory, which would terminate any chip-containing entity. Kabaraji hints at a chipless avatar, suspecting Monado might have preserved one. Jill reaches out to Monado about his rumored illicit avatar collection, which he denies. She, however, pinpoints their location. Subsequently, Hujin approaches Monado, having caught wind of the clandestine avatars. As the group enters Decadence, they head to the avatar storage, where Hujin confronts Monado about his hidden avatars. In the avatar storage room, the group is caught off guard by Hujin's arrival. As Hujin summons Kabaraji's avatar, Kabaraji swiftly retrieves it just in time. With one avatar secured, Jill points out they need another team member. Kabaraji immediately thinks of Natsume. He approaches her with a risky plan to halt the Gatls. While hesitant, she agrees. Suddenly, Jill informs Kabaraji of an unexpected visitor. He logs out to find Monado. Monado, suspecting Kabaraji's involvement in the avatar theft, seeks answers. Kabaraji expresses his disdain for the system that limits cyborgs' free will and reveals his intention to dismantle it. Hoping for support, he pitches his cause to Monado, who warns him of the potential chaos and leaves. Meanwhile, Turkey attempts to sway Sarkazi to betray Kabaraji and Donatello. He argues that aligning with the system offers a chance for heroism and survival, contrary to opposing it. As Kabaraji and Natsu gear up for their mission, Jill reiterates their objectives: infiltrate the factory, activate the Gatl genocide system, and destroy the reactor. En route to the factory, they navigate through a protective shield. Back at their base, the bugs initiate a process that emits a foul odor, necessitating the cyborgs to ventilate it. This pollution upsets the nearby lake's inhabitants, creating disruptions within the factory. Upon entering the factory, Kabaraji and Natsumi are met with a surprise. Kujin and Moonin are expecting them. Kujin urges Kabaraji to reconsider his rebellious actions. Kujin confronts Kabaraji, revealing he's aware of the tanker bug. Simultaneously, the correctional facility is attacked. Jill discerns that Sarkazi and Turkey have turned against them. To prevent guards from accessing login devices, she yanks Donatello out of Decadence, sending him to counter them. As Hujin battles Kabaraji, Jill interferes, manipulating the game to produce decoys of Kabaraji and Natsumi. Donatello confronts the guards, capturing Turkey and casting him into the feast's pit. In his final moments, inspired by past words from Kabaraji about pushing limits, Sarkazi consumes special liquor and leaps into the feast's pit, triggering a vast explosion which ravages the factory and its reactor. Natsumi distracts Hujin, allowing her and Kabaraji to reach the Gatl genocide system. As they activate it, Gatls begin dying off. Stunned, Natsumi learns the shocking reality from Kabaraji. Their world, the Gatls, and even his own existence are artificial creations, part of a cyborg-created game called Decadence. Overwhelmed, she collapses. With the Gatls vanishing, the cyborgs learn the game service is temporarily suspended. As factory staff flee, a Gatl sting kills one, who later perishes in an elevator. As they exit the factory, Kabaraji tells the now-conscious Natsumi the truth about her father's death due to his closeness to uncovering this secret. Upset by Kabaraji's previous deceptions, Natsumi distances herself from the tanker celebrations. Hujin, suspecting Natsumi as a bug, investigates to no avail. Elsewhere, a Gatl emerges from the deceased staff member, feasting on them. Racing to the correctional facility, Donatello, Jill, and Kabaraji rescue the stranded cyborgs, finding refuge in old Decadence parts. Kabaraji urges Jill to prepare a login device concerned for Natsumi's safety. Back home, Matsui discovers a note from Inoki. He confesses his initial death wish changed after being inspired by her spirit. Vowing to defy the world's oppressive rules, he hints at his escape plan. Realizing his intent, Natsumi rushes to find him. Natsumi confronts Inoki about his escape plans, expressing her refusal to let him go. She passionately declares her intent to fight alongside him against the oppressive rules. However, as they find common ground, Kujin suddenly appears and fatally stabs Inoki. Elsewhere, the Gatl that fed on numerous corpses has grown significantly. To the cyborg's astonishment, this surviving Gatl lacks a control chip, making it unpredictable. Monado urges the activation of Decadence. Noticing this, Hujin labels it another glitch and targets Natsumi. But Kabaraji, in a new body, intervenes, saving her with a lethal needle strike. Upon awakening, Natsumi learns from Kabaraji about his avatar switch. The rogue Gatl, now termed Omega by the system, is targeted by Decadence's weaponry. Despite their efforts, Omega resists and severely damages Decadence. The cyborgs then resort to using a powerful solid cannon against Omega. In an intense clash, Omega's energy blast damages the cyborg's space base, after which Omega enters a dormant state. Hujin and Moonin merge, with Moonin informing Monado and the others of the system's decision to seal Decadence's dome, eliminating all internal threats using a spatial compression device. A 6-hour deadline begins and all cyborgs are instructed to look out. Pondering their next move, Monado learns from Moonin that preserving the system is the main goal. During a discussion with Jill and Kabaraji, it's revealed that someone could potentially use Decadence as an avatar. Jill, having been part of Decadence's development team, provides insights, prompting Kabaraji to take the risk. Amidst the chaos, smaller Gatls emerge from Omega. As the Gears combat this new threat, Jill preps Kabaraji for his Decadence login. Inside Decadence's core room, Monado tries dissuading Kabaraji from risking his life. Concurrently, Natsumi stumbles upon the escaped cyborgs. Jill clarifies these are Kabaraji's comrades and reveals their true form to Natsumi, who finds them endearing. As Monado grapples with his faith in the system and himself, Kabaraji shares that he once felt the same but was changed by an unexpected source. Kabaraji, determined to act on his own, needs Monado's assistance to connect to Decadence since it's a two-person job. Realizing Kabaraji expected this, Monado agrees, enlisting his team to help operate Decadence. When the connection is confirmed by Jill and Decadence remains still, Natsumi suggests crafting a weapon for Kabaraji. Jill, initially hesitant, realizes they can use old Decadence parts. as Monado rallies the gears to collect action-filled Decadence parts in Chimatown. News of Decadence shutting down motivates the cyborgs to log in one last time. Unsure why Decadence isn't active, Natsumi heads to Kabaraji. He finds himself in a ruined town, a relic of the past. The system questions his defiance, doubting Decadence's ability to defeat Omega. Undeterred, Kabaraji demands administrative rights, challenging the system's static nature and taking control of Decadence. With Decadence reactivated, they use harpoons against Omega and collect the necessary parts to rebuild Decadence's arm. Despite their efforts, Decadence's cannon falls short. Remembering his moments with Natsumi, Kabaraji pushes beyond his limits, successfully halting Omega. The ensuing damage causes Decadence to collapse, and a weakened Kabaraji is later excavated. Natsumi expresses her gratitude as Kabaraji's life ebbs away. 3 years forward in Shimmy Town, Monado now leads as the Supreme Administrator, with Jill assisting. Jill reveals she took a sample from Kabaraji during an upgrade, hinting at a possibility to revive him. A new city emerges, offering cyborgs diverse attractions including zero-gravity sports, battles, and interactions with peaceful gattles. Both cyborgs and tankers coexist in a revamped residential zone. Natsumi now operates Natsume Tours, guiding exploration adventures. Wrapping up one such tour, she spots Kabaragi's avatar and runs into his embrace.